It takes a certain fortitude to be a farmer, always at the mercy of Mother Nature.
Come a little bit more.
For Summer Hyde, facing the uncertainty of what each year will hold for her and her husband on the farm pales in comparison to fears she has already conquered. A deadly stomach cancer runs in her family, and the 32-year-old has had to make agonizing decisions and take drastic steps to save her own life.
There was always the little bit of like, when is the ticking time bomb going to go off and when might I get the cancer? It was too much fear over the unknown, so.
Hyde was only 2 years old when her Aunt Rosemary passed away from stomach cancer. She was just 29 years old.
I was very concerned for my children because I knew nothing about cancer.
Rosemary's husband, Luke Lawrence, remembers asking the doctor whether their children were at risk.
He says cancer is not contagious. They didn't know anything about hereditary forms of cancer, but at the time that was the right answer.
But then, 16 years later, their daughter Erin was diagnosed with the same cancer. She was 20 years old and dead within 7 months. Before Erin passed away, she got genetic testing. It revealed a rare mutation in the CDH1 gene that can pass down through families. It causes hereditary diffuse gastric cancer.
We didn't know none of this until it was far too late because Erin had already been diagnosed with stage 4 of this form of cancer. So it was to create an awareness for the family more so than what we could do for Erin. And that's why we did it.
So Summer Hyde and some other family members got tested too. 5 people had the mutation, including her grandmother, her father, and her.
It was like devastating, obviously, but it wasn't, I think I was so young and naive that I really didn't think about what that actually meant.
What that meant was she had an 83% chance of getting the deadly cancer in her lifetime. The only way to prevent it is to remove her entire stomach. It's called a prophylactic total gastrectomy. Hyde considered it, but her doctor told her it could mean no children. She decided to wait.
I wanted to have my kids naturally. I didn't, like, you can do IVF and have the embryos tested for the gene and then not implant the ones that have the gene, but I didn't want to do that. I do feel like some feel like it's a little bit selfish because I could spare my kids from having the gene, but I wouldn't get the kids that I have if I were to choose that, and I would never choose anybody different.
Hyde and her husband had 2 daughters, and her anxiety grew. She was terrified of leaving them without a mother.
It was always in the back of my mind that it was only 7 months that Erin was diagnosed and passed away, and so every like Christmas or birthday or any type of holiday, I would always go above and beyond because take lots of pictures, make it perfect in case it was their last one with me.
Then, in 2014, her younger sister, Ali Kowalik, also tested positive for the gene mutation.
I was going to have the surgery. I knew.
She had her entire stomach removed, and afterward, tests on what was taken out showed cancer.
He said that it came back with stage 1 cancer, so it was hard to hear. Still hard to talk about, actually. I don't talk about that part very much.
Undetected, it would have gone on to kill her. The surgery got rid of it.
I could not be here today. I could not have him.
It was a wake-up call for her big sister.
It was way too much anxiety for me to carry to not do the surgery.
In 2015, Hyde finally got her stomach removed. The recovery was difficult, but now, except for dietary restrictions, life is pretty normal.
I feel amazing, and it was worth all the pain and fighting in the beginning, and it was definitely worth it.
Her worries aren't over, though.
The worry about myself has now been put onto my kids because I just worry and hope that none of them have the gene.
Each of their children has a 50% chance of inheriting the gene mutation. They can get tested when they're 18. The 2 women hope that by then medical advancements will provide better options for testing, treating, and preventing the disease.
I have high hopes for him.
It's hard, but it is what it is, and we're lucky that we get the chance at life.
Summer Hyde is trying to set an example for them, being ready to face whatever comes her way. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, near Rocanville, Saskatchewan.